Today, I'm going to take you through which of these 4 RC cars might be best if you are just starting out. In this video, I'll be comparing 3 popular beginner RC cars, the Maverick Ion RX, the Maverick Atom, and the UDI SG1603, which comes in both brushed and brushless configurations. We'll score these cars across key categories like cost, additional items to get going, driver aids, spare parts, upgrades, drivability, and looks. Stick around to see which one comes out top in our leaderboard. Let's start with the Maverick Ion RX. For cost, the car is one of the more affordable options. At worst, it's still cheaper than the UDIs at a regular retail price of $169. This example was picked up for $110, which makes it the second cheapest car in the test, and great for beginners on a budget. Additional items needed? It's ready to run, so all you need is some AA's for the transmitter. When it comes to driver aids, the Ion RX doesn't offer advanced features like traction control, but it's manageable for beginners, and in fact I'd say it handles the best out of the box. It has enough power to be quick in the straights and corners, well enough without the need for gyro or ESP. Spare parts can be comparatively expensive and you are locked into buying them from model shops and online, less than ideal if you're in a regional area. Upgrade options are limited, but it speaks volumes that the metal drive shaft option is cheaper than the plastic one it ships with, and in my opinion should be given to customers free of charge. The car is the only one that ships with oil shocks as standard. For drivability, the Ion RX is lightweight and easy to control, though it might struggle on rough terrain. Finally, looks. Well, I should leave that to our independent judging panel, but let's face it, it's the best looking car of the bunch. Alright, well next up is the Maverick Atom. In terms of cost, it's the cheapest car in the test at $79 Australian. Additionally, it's the only car with any off-road or skate park bashing credentials, but please don't do it on the standard shocks. Additional items needed? None, just like the Ion RX, it's ready to run straight out of the box. For driver aids, the Atom doesn't offer much beyond having a throttle trim, so you can dial the speed back for new drivers. Its stability makes it beginner friendly, but it's not the best handler on the test surface in the group. It got quite unwieldy. Spare parts and upgrades are more accessible compared to the Ion RX. It does come with a metal drive shaft, which is standard, and a nice bonus when you compare it to its more expensive brand mate. Drivability, the Atom handles better on rougher terrain and feels more robust overall. And as for looks, well, we can leave that one to the panel as well. Although one person on the panel did rate it the best looking car, I can say, in my experience, my 10-year-old's birthday party, all the other 10-year-olds loved the mini monster trucks, and we bought 4 of them, and they all survived the party, so I will give it extra props for its robustness. Alright, finally let's look at the UDI SG1603. Available in both brushed and brushless versions. Cost-wise, the brushed version is very affordable, between $79 and $120 depending on the body style, while the brushless version costs between $149 and $199 Australian dollars, but offers significantly better performance. On the indoor test surface, the power needed to be dialed back on the brushless version, so consider that for a beginner. Additional items, again, these were both ready to run straight out of the box, just some AA's for the transmitters. For driver aids, both versions have an electronic stability program and an option for 3 different power settings at 50, 75 and 100%. They have steering dual rate settings and a light button so you can change light modes. Sounds like a nothing, but wait until there are 5 or 6 of them on the track and you can't tell them apart. Spare parts and upgrades are where the 1603 shines. Both are widely available and reasonably priced through model shops and online markets like AliExpress, Banggood, eBay and Amazon. The first upgrade for most drivers will be some oil dampers. Drivability wise, the brush version is slower and easier for beginners, while the brushless version is faster and more thrilling as your skills improve. Time to go to the scores. The cost, the Atom wins the day. As far as additional items to get up and running, all of them work fine out of the box apart from needing some AA's for the transmitter. 4 points across the board. Alright, in the driver aids category, both of the UDIs had ESP, both had dual rate steering, and both had speed settings on the transmitter, so 3 points each. Well done there. The Atom did have a throttle trim, so you could turn down the speed fractionally. Unfortunately, the Ion RX didn't have any of that, so no points there. It's not looking good for the Ion. Okay, let's talk about the spares. Again, the UDIs, amazing. Every part of these cars is available and is available at quite a low price. The Atom has a surprising amount of parts available, but you are still stuck through ordering through Maverick directly or through hobby shops, either in person or online. There's not a lot of aftermarket stuff unless you want to get into the nitty-gritty of measuring individual parts up and hoping that they will fit. The Ion RX, again, you're locked into the Maverick ecosystem there. It's a great car, don't get me wrong, but you will be frustrated if you live in a regional area trying to get parts like I was. This car has been off the track for about 2.5 months of its life, just waiting for parts to come. Alright, so next it's time to talk about the upgrades. Again, these two cars, the UDIs, have got so many upgrade parts, although if you already go for the brushless, you are going to be limited in what kind of drive system you can upgrade. All of these cars have got an integrated ESC and receiver, so you'll need to upgrade that. These are quite expensive to upgrade, although this Ion RX, as I said previously, is the only one that ships with oil shocks. The first upgrade I would make to any of these is to put some oil dampers on. The Atom and the Ion are still upgradable, but you've got fewer upgrade parts. Really, brushless, lithium, that's where you can go. That one's already on lithium. This runs nickel metal hydride, which I think is a better option for a beginner in RC. Okay, drivability and looks to finish off. I believe that is the fastest car to go around, and when you look at the lap times on the videos, one thing you won't notice is that I didn't always manage to drive all the cars for the same length of time. I actually got 6 laps in with this car, and on lap 5 and 6 it was faster than any of the other cars. Already as it stands, 2 out of the top 3 times were with this, and that is with a brushed motor on nickel metal hydride batteries. Drivability wise, this handles great out of the box. That is quite overpowered for a beginner. This is quite okay. This thing not really suited to the test track, but it's the cheapest car out there. It's great to drive off-road, but I wouldn't be taking it around a track. And finally, the looks. The looks are a very contentious thing. A lot of people really love the brushless look, the Lancia look for that. I didn't think this would fare as well as it did, but hey, it still did quite well, 2.5. If you're wondering why the scores look like they are, I had 4 judges who ranked them 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the scores were average. I thought this would win by a country mile. There you go, I was wrong. What turns out, we've got our first place with the brushed UDI. Second place is the Ion RX. Third place is the brushed UDI. Did I say brushless the first time? Brushless, brushed. Last place, one person did think this was the best looking car, is the Maverick Atom. So we'll come back and total up the scores and find out who the winner is. Okay, so there you have it. Based on the scores, the winner and champion, and apparently the best beginner RC car out there, is the UDI 1603 Brushed Edition. That can be had for anywhere between $70 and $120. It drives well, it's got plenty of features, it's able to be tuned for beginners, and it came out on top. People didn't think it looked half bad either. Now, I've got to say, I think all the cars that I've looked at today are very good. They're all suitable for beginners. Not the car that I thought would have won it. If you think that I've done something wrong, or there's a category I've missed, or something I've overlooked, I'd really love to hear about it in the comments. Otherwise, I'd also love it if you could like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it helps this new channel to grow. Until next time, I hope to see you on the next video. Thanks everyone.